If you do go on to enjoy today's video, please remember to hit that like button and of course subscribe for more content. And if you need any coins for Ultimate Team to get a head start on the game, head to the link in the description. Use the code TVM for a discount at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to a brand new video, and a video that should have been out earlier today. Unfortunately, the audio was all over the place. You don't need to know that. We are going to look at 83 rated, new signing for Manchester United, Donny van de Beek. Now, I'm going to call him Van de Beek, not Van de Beek as it looks. I think you pronounce it Van de Beek. Dutch people, let me know whether I'm right or wrong. But for the purpose of this video, just know that I am going to call him Van de Beek, as in Greg's steak bake. Anyway, 25k, 30k some platforms. Doesn't look the best on paper. Obviously, I packed him, he's first owner. That's kind of why I'm going to review him. It's not one of those cards I thought, right, I'm going to go have a look at this guy because he looks fantastic. Because he doesn't actually look that great. I mean, he's reasonably well-rounded for this stage of the game, but for an 83 rated card, you're looking at the stats thinking, where do they get that rating from? And it's not far off what he should be. Points per position wise, he is 82. So if you count up all the points for the importance of the centre mid role, he is an 82 rated player. So it's not far off. And obviously with certain chem styles, you can bump up certain things. And of course, it depends where you want to play him. If you want to play him more CDM-esque, then you can give him more defense-minded stats. So why is this guy even getting a review? Because surely you're not going to review a guy who's absolutely terrible. And no, hands up, bit of a spoiler alert for the rest of the video. Van de Beek is actually not bad at all. He looks a little bit slow, but I'm here to tell you that if you're not playing the game yet, or maybe you're playing the 10 hours and you're doing trading or packs or maybe even squad battles and you can't really get to grips with the gameplay a little bit, pace isn't as important this year as it has been in previous FIFAs, to the point where 67 paced players are actually pretty good. Weird thing to say, I know, but unless they patch this, which they probably will, it's going to be refreshing to be able to go out and use players like Donny van de Beek. James Rodriguez, for example, is actually a very good card in this game. Tony Kroos is usable. They don't have pace, but they are usable. What is Van de Beek good at then? Because his defensive stats are low to mid 70s. His agility and balance are low 70. His finishing is only 79. Well, his finishing, let's just talk about that first and foremost, because it's going to be something that's worth a mention but isn't that important because you're not exactly going to be playing him as a striker. Some people may decide to play him as a cam early doors if they pack him untradeable or whatever. So, you know, maybe it's a respectable decision to ask, can he finish? Yes and no. He's not as consistent in front of goal as I'd like him to be, and it's not down to the composure, it's just down to his finishing in general. 3-star, 3-star, not ideal. This stage of the game, you could definitely get away with it, but obviously toward the latter stages, well, I wouldn't say latter stages, toward the first promo, which of course, I mean, I'm not counting ones to watch as the first promo, I'm going to count Scream. Once we get into the Scream stuff, we've already had a couple of informs, a couple of weeks of informs, we'll already have the ones to watches, and then we'll have Scream. Then these type of cards will start to get, I wouldn't say left behind, but they start to become less desirable, and they won't be as useful. Nice little dummy turn from him there. Coman does really well. Review for him coming out maybe later today, maybe tomorrow. Can't quite decide. In fact, I might do, because I've got Luis Suarez's inform ready as well. So we'll see what happens. Either way, in front of goal, I'd sooner pass than shoot, so there we go. He's actually very good on the ball. His ball control is fantastic. I'm not going to use the word phenomenal or anything, but it is a really, really nice card when you get in possession of that ball. You're not likely to lose it. The R1 dribble is something that is, I wouldn't say it's that difficult to get used to. I mean, I don't know whether I'm using it wrong, but it's unbelievably similar to the way that you use the L1 when you sort of jockey. So it's very similar to that. You can obviously use it to fake AI and things like that, which is nice. But he's very good at doing it. He's very good at jockeying and shimmying and all the rest of it. His passing is good enough. I wouldn't say it's fantastic, but it is good enough. So you can see I do get a lot of shots with him. And that's because he is playing slightly further forward than perhaps the majority of people would play him. And that's not because I was trying to score goals with him necessarily. It's just that every time he went forward, him and Harry Kane had some sort of repertoire where Harry Kane would just get on the end of everything. Van de Beek would find him constantly. So I just thought it made sense to push him further forward whenever I had the opportunity to do so, and he worked there very, very well. Now, he's not the best card in the game, and there are probably centre mids out there that you're using right now, or maybe that you've got your eye on, that would be better than Donny van de Beek. But for whatever reason, and I'm not a Man United fan, and I'm not Dutch either, believe it or not, I'm not being biased. I think he's a very, very good player. He definitely comes with his... I mean, look at that for ball control. Gets fouled there on the edge of the area. The free kick, unfortunately, comes to nothing. However, he managed to worm his way out of a pretty tight space there because of that ball control, because of that dribbling. I say dribbling. He's got 76 dribbling. It's not the best, but the ball control helps him out. And then, of course, his reactions and composure are quite nice, and that's what allowed him to create the space. Now, like I said, he's not without his cons. The weak foot at the moment doesn't bother me too much, although the more you play, the better your cards become, the more that Van de Beek is going to get. I wouldn't say left behind, but it's going to be one of those, he's got a 3-star weak foot. It's a little bit irritating. It's starting to get on my nerves even more now, you know? So just bear that in mind. His speed, although it's not a problem, it is something that is definitely worth putting down as a negative, because it's not a positive, you know what I mean? And it's not something that you can just sort of brush under the carpet, because again, for right now, we are playing against, or the majority of us at least, are playing against rather slow defenders and defenders that sort of run out of stamina, you know? Donny van de Beek has 92 stamina, so he's able to run for the entire game. And then the defenders, a lot of them have 70-something stamina, they're not able. So when it comes to the latter stages of the game, we're talking sort of 70, 80th minute, Van de Beek's still full of running, and then he doesn't feel as slow compared to some of the defenders that only have 70, 75 pace. But that's something else as well. Pace is quite balanced. So when you've got someone like Van de Beek, who's got 67 acceleration, 73 sprint speed, if that was at a centre-back, you'd be saying, well, he's not slow, but he's not quick, because centre-backs don't tend to have insane pace, right? So we are happy to have a centre-back with 70 to 75 pace. We think that's okay. That's not bad at all, right? So this year, players actually run that fast. You know, they keep up with each other, rather than a player with 90 pace is being caught by someone with 70 pace in defence. It doesn't really happen that way. Pace is pace. If you've got someone quick, they tend to beat the slower player quite comfortably, with or without the ball. So I like that. Overall, I think Van de Beek is a good card. For this stage of the game especially, he is a good card. For about 25,000 coins, there are players out there who are equal to him, but he does a very, very good job, and I would definitely recommend picking this guy up if you need a card for your team. Of course, Chem Styles at the bottom, Maestro Powerhouse Engine, depending on where you want to play him. I've got value for coins at 80 because 25k will drop as soon as ones to watches and things start to come out. He may get a ones to watch, of course, so he may hold his price for a little while, but as soon as better cards, informs and screen cards and all the rest of it start coming out, he will drop. But for right now, I like him. I think he's very, very useful. Let me know what you think of him in the comment section down below. Have you used him? Have you maybe got a difference of opinion? Feel free to let me know that as well. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, of course, and until the next time, goodbye.
Join the Betting Rebellion and find out what your football knowledge is really worth.